So
yes. Did just lose the first game.
they got destroyed.
Yes.
Say it.
It wasn't. I don't want to. I'm not a harsh man, Cinderin. I know. I'm a nice guy. You, on the other hand, you're brutal. You're savage.
What? It was objectively they got destroyed.
Okay. Unanimously, everyone would probably agree if they saw the game. But anyway, the bans. Dazzle gets banned out. Again, one of these supports that is certainly flavour of the month. And talking about the other one that is Winter Wyverns will be snagged up here by Unknown. And well, OG now with their third pick. What do they want to follow through with the Tiny Eye? It's going to be the Tusk as well. So, I mean, there are a lot of strong heroes in this patch, and we're seeing them all here at the moment. Not really a weak link on either side at the moment. Some very reliable picks. Very, very comfortable ones as well for both teams. Unknown with the fourth. We'll see if they kind of continue with this this trend of sticking with the meta, or if they want to try and break a side and pick something with a little bit more innovation in terms of the draft. But come on, give me some other heroes that you think we'll see here.
I was thinking Disruptor is a possible pick, but I don't like Disruptor Wyvern that much as a support duo. On second thought, maybe it's good enough against what OG has, because Disruptor is also very good against Tusk. So I could see that being a nice choice for Unknown if they want to go for something like that. Also curious if it's a safe lane or an off-lane Slardar, because if they do want to off-lane this Slardar into any dual lane with Tusk, they have to be really careful. As far as OG goes, the Tusk is generally being played by Crit, but since they already have the IO, it's probably on to Fly. I don't believe I've seen Moon play this a single time for them. They prioritize other off-laners for him.
Yeah, I mean, talking about Moon's off-lane choices, I mean, there's been a fair off-laners that have been banned out, obviously some of themselves with the Darks here and the Doom, so still limiting the options.
Nature's Prophet.
I would like to
Spirit
see the
Breaker.
good old Moon Nature's Prophet. The Spirit Breaker.
That is a shit pick, though.
Okay.
It's pretty bad. It's good against Queen of Pain, but when you're playing into Wyvern and Slaughter, it's very difficult to play Breaker.
Okay.
Just watch them pick it and own this game.
Unknown here, taking their time. I mean, we're right to reserve time and up. Okay. So it's a bad pick for OG, but I'm sure Sinji would have said it was a fantastic pick for Unknown.
It's okay. I think this hero actually does pretty well against Tiny because he has 2 single target stuns, and Tiny needs to have pretty good timing to land the avalanche onto charge. If he sees the direction, it's pretty easy, but the moment that's on cooldown, I don't think you can actually toss a charging Spirit Breaker before he stuns you with Greater Bash from the charge. I do not think that's possible. And then if you do that, you can immediately transition it into a Nether Strike. It's also a great way of catching IO, which is most likely why they grabbed it. It's good for getting in the backlines. And here is Moon's hero, by the way.
Okay, there we go. The Shaker. I believe we've...
Miracle could also
I was going to say, the Miracle played at mid earlier today. I mean, they could do that if they wanted to keep the Tiny Eye in the safe.
I like that idea more. And then picking Moon's hero last.
Who did he play at mid against in the first game? What hero was it?
Didn't see the game. I'm not sure.
Okay.
He did have the vast majority of his team's deaths, though, I think, that game. He went 7 and 8. He died a lot, but he had a big impact
he's still
anyway.
Pretty impactful, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd certainly love to see that. But it looks like Unknown, they don't think that's going to be the case. They ban out the win range a lot.
Just a Jugger ban.
As you said earlier, for one of those carries that can deal with the relocate ganks. Huskar! Sin! Talk to me about the Huskar. Is this the game for a Huskar?
Yes, if it's not a mid-shaker, then not so much yes. Huskar is all about whether the enemy team has enough pure or physical damage to kill you off when you get low and get all that magic resist. I'm looking at OG, they have a Tusk, which is kind of nice if you can hold your Walrus Punch until the Huskar is low. Tiny is not particularly good against Huskar, so I think that's a good read from Unknown here that they could go for it. But if it is a core shaker, it gets difficult. Okay, it's an ass picker, so minus armor, more physical damage, single target. I don't know if this was the best choice. What they can do, though, is they can give the Ag Scepter to Tiny, which is
true.
Ridiculous.
I mean, if No-Tail gets the timing on the blink, which he almost certainly will, with the support of Crit, and then, they give him an Aghanims. And then with the Aghanims, suddenly the physical DPS, that's something else that Huskar, you get a few swipes in with the tree. could be the play here from OG. And, well, we'll see if they have it in them. Obviously, it's Katara Hayama, isn't it? Even though the names aren't properly showing on the Huskar, of course, the side of unknown. We'll see if he's going to be able to play it as well as they would have felt he would do, picking it up with the final pick against OG's lineup. But nonetheless, should be an interesting game on our unknown versus OG. The loser will find themselves in the lower bracket, which is not a position you want to be in. Of course, the first round of lower bracket games, the main events, are best of ones. And you just don't want to put yourself in that position. Winning this will give you a chance to redeem yourself, of course, once again, against the side of Vega in a second chance to fight for an upper bracket position. But this could be an interesting one here. Obviously, a lot of people going into this one, I believe, will be favouring the side of OG. Unknown. You know, they are kind of unknown to some of these teams. Maybe they've got the potential to surprise some of the bigger sides and catch them off guard soon.
I don't think OG were expecting the Huskar pick, at least. Their last pick, good at adapting to it, though. I would say Alchemist is alright. It's a physical damage source from Acid Spray that can kill him off when he's low, lower the armor so it gets easier, and more importantly, I think just for their own game plan should be alright, as I'm having a hard time seeing Unknown knocking down towers that early with Huskar. They don't have one of those very classic defensive supports with it. Cold Embrace is good, but they don't have, say, an Omni Knight who just allows you to push the towers immediately, or something like a Dazzle to grave him when he's low. So I do think OG are in a pretty good position draft-wise, as long as they don't get crushed early.
Looks like we're not going to see any aggression at the start. Unknown did look for some kind of action with a smoke movement, but OG themselves towards the bottom, and Miracle should be able to find himself the bounty here. No contest on the side of Unknown, so that's going to be that straight up burst of gold here for this Alchemist. And it is just going to be a question of how he plays this. I mean, you talked about potentially getting the Ags to the Tiny, but does he still go for the standard kind of Radiance, Boots, to Travel, Man to Octarine, or do you pick up the Aghanims before one of those ones on the progress of this Alch?
I think this is the kind of game where you could go Radiance into Ags.
Okay.
I would say Radiance definitely the choice, just so you secure that you can keep the farm flowing, because giving away an Ags is pretty expensive, and then if you don't have a good build-up, it's going to take too long, but with Radiance you can do it pretty fast, so I do think that is an option here for Miracle. He can also just go for the standard, like, self-sufficient build where he goes for the Manta. It's difficult to say. It really depends on what happens in the first 15 minutes of the game.
Yeah. And in terms of the lane matchups that we've got across the map, do you feel that there's either side's going to be happier with the kind of the matchups that they've found in this first part of the game?
I think OG can be pretty happy with shutting down Slarter. In my opinion, this hero has been very, very strong in the games we've seen so far where he got a key item at a decent timing. But if he gets shut down early, we've seen him have almost no impact. That's not just in the tournaments, it's in other games as well. So first picking that Slarter and putting it solo offlane, I think, is a very dangerous choice from Unknown. And if they don't help him out, OG should be very happy with the situation, as I don't think they can keep Miracle that much away from farm in the mid anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, we've already seen the Acid Spray just totally ruining this Quap's day. She's had to back up each and every time. Every time it gets laid down with it being level 2 at the moment. It's very hard for her to stick around and get the CS on top of it. Jay said Miracle, 5 for 1 at the moment. She's keeping just a little bit up with the Quap. Who's still slightly got the edge, but as expected, she has had the Spirit Breaker around. And let's see a bit of a fight here for this 2-minute rune. And Greedy will get it here with the illusions as well, trying to turn onto Fly. He pops down the shards, but Fly potentially a bit of trouble there. Greedy just sliding forward here with a sprint, and that's your crush again. And Fly, he's not going to be saved by the Io, and that's going to be your first blood for Unknown. And they might just not be done there. They're looking for more. The charge across onto Carnage. He will be able to tether away.
Is it called Carnage on your screen?
He is.
Oh, interesting.
It's Reborn Sin. Like Carnage, aka Crit.
Yeah, strange. I have the real names on my screen here.
We can't all be as good as you, Sin.
No, I think you might just need to relog Steam for the next game, and it's fine.
Yeah.
It might be something with updating relative to server or something. Anyway, it was the first blood for Unknown. It went the way of the SB, so he goes for Boots, Orb of Venom to start. I'm considering if he wants to go for Earn this game and just really try to be active in ganking, or if they think they can transition him into a core with a Midas. It's a little bit early to say, though.
Yeah. Oh, and a charge onto Miracle as well. I mean, can they get this one? What kind of mana have we got in the Quap? I don't know if she's got enough ready to blink forward and contribute. As she has in 2 seconds. A blink and a screen would
If he
do
gets a
this.
greater bash now.
Hey, there we go. Just a
He's
blink and a
actually
dagger. Oh.
Miracle's dead. Is anyone coming in to deny him? No, he's buying a TP. Accepting his fate. This is a very good play by Unknown.
And this is a great start for Unknown as well. 2 kills. And this Spirit Breaker, he's been doing work for the side. Setting it up each and every time. And bottom lane, the CS for Katara has been fine. 19 for 7. Moon's not been able to do that much to stop him on his own. And the early game for Unknown, I was actually talking about this with Cap earlier. This is a portion of the game that the Unknown seem to be good at. They seem to be good at getting this early game sorted. Kind of when it comes to the later portions that they do tend to struggle. We've obviously got to note the fact that No-Tail on the Tiny, he himself, he's been having a final time top, pretty much perfect CS. There's going to be good progression on him. Whether it be, I guess when there is an Alk in the game, he does go for the blink first here on the Tiny, do you reckon?
Yeah, I would say so. They probably need to start not too late in the game. I think if both Alk and Tiny go greedy, they can get punished really hard. If it works out, they win the game, but it's maybe too big of a risk to take. I was going to say it's very important that this kill happened because Miracle's still at level 6 and the Queen is close to Sonic Wave.
And there's a charge in as well, but there's the concoction to stop it. Moon's turned up with a TP, throws back a Fisher, and there's a TP in. Oh, it was going to be for No-Tail as well, but he ends up cancelling it. Lies there with the shards to block off Greedy. Greedy should still be fine, so this time OG with the reactions does manage to save Miracle's life, or at least stop Unknown going for anything more here.
And now Attune is almost level 6 on the Queen. Just needs one last hit. That makes it very dangerous for Miracle. Even when he has his ultimate, this Queen of Pain ult takes away 1/3 of his health immediately. So he has to be very careful with what positions he gets himself into in that mid.
Yeah, and any time there's a charge to lead in, you're pretty much, one bash, and that's going to be a kill as well. You do find the opening for it, Unknown. Top lane. Okay, Greedy's going down that this time. No-Tail with the combo and the backup of crit. Finds have a kill, and now they get the pressure onto the tower here. So No-Tail still having a pretty good game. We've seen Unknown try and deal with the mid lane. Bottom lane, they were able to deal fairly well with the Shaker, but it's the top lane really where the Tiny's getting a little bit out of control in this portion of the game.
The dangerous thing for OG in this bottom lane is the moment Huskar reaches level 6. Yeah, actually even now. I see Moon, good decision making here, TPing out. I think he would have died. But when Huskar reaches level 6, he can dive the Shaker solo almost all the time. So the OG have to be careful and ready to respond. Nice ice charge by Fly.
Oh, and the snowball in. They're looking for both of these heroes now. There'll be the toss forward as well. They'll take down the Slardar. And now they're looking for more OG. There'll be a charge out. They won't be able to cancel it. So Spirit Breaker's going to be able to save himself. But Miracle's there. There's actually the charge onto Miracle, but they haven't got the mana for the Sonic Wave. In fact, he's not skilled it? No, hasn't skilled it at level 6.
Okay.
I mean, sometimes we see Quops do this. Is there a reason, Sid?
Misclick, no. This actually used to be the standard thing to do, was to go 2-1-4. There was a phase in Dota 2 when you almost exclusively did that. That was before Sonic Wave got buffed. I think the new Sonic Wave is almost always a skill point worthy of that.
Maybe they didn't release the patch yet in Peru. I mean,
no, it's not that. It's probably because he wants to be able to push the lane out better and try to secure these runes, because obviously these points in Scream of Pain make it a lot easier, make for some more stable harassment as well onto Miracle. But I'm very rarely a fan of this build-up. I think Sonic Wave is almost always the best choice on level 6.
Bottom lane, decent timing here on the armlet, of course, here for Mr. Hayama. So he's going to have that rocking the big charge onto Miracle in the mid lane. Greedy's there as well. I'm not going to follow through on that one. The Quap a little bit too low to contribute. Now at level 7, so he's picked up the Sonic Wave here.
I got now, okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering if he was going to go for Scream again, actually.
Yes, so max it out.
So essentially skilling it in the opposite order of what's normal, but I don't think it made a difference. Time at which he could have had Sonic Wave, he didn't have mana for it anyway, so... Doesn't seem to matter that much. Charge from Stock going in really deep for this one.
Yeah, they're going to look to dive this one over the slow as well from the Arctic Burn. Here comes your Huskar moving in, and they'll find the kill onto Shaker. Getting a third, but No-Tail turns it with the toss. The Avalanche not going to be able to toggle yourself out of that one, and the snowball across. They're looking for more. They've found one. The Cold Embrace will buy some time here. He does have a charge available as well, but the toss is going to be there straight up. He goes down. Double kill for No-Tail. And No-Tail, he's been having a perfect time farming up the top. And those kind of TPs are just making it for the man here. He's now sitting upon 1,200 gold here. And he's been involved in all 4 of the kills. So this is some really smart awareness from No-Tail so far.
This could have gone very, very different. I think if Huskar had one additional point in Berserker's Blood, he might have survived the combo from No-Tail, and that goes the other way. But No-Tail taking good advantage of the fact that 2 points in this Berserker's Blood is not enough to avoid or mitigate all the damage he needs to there. Yep, like I said, No-Tail with a good amount of money in the bank. I'm still guessing he's cruising toward the Blink Dagger by the looks of it.
Quap, he's going to try and go. Fly has got a snowball here if he wants to go for some funky plays, and he does have a shaker as well. Alright, the Fisher comes out. He might be in trouble here. They've got his concoction if they can get it out in time. But, oh, the Sonic Wave! Alright.
Yeah, show the ground who's boss.
Well, they got the kill nonetheless. The Sonic Wave was there in honor.
You know what would be nice
Tusk.
right now? Sonic Wave.
A Miracle, they might just find the Spirit Breaker. The Fisher was there to set it up. They'll get themselves a killer return, and now with a concoction, they might find themselves even more moving forward, trying to get vision of the Wave. They can't quite get the vision though. Quap's still playing around. Blinks down to the low ground. Meanwhile, top lane, Tiny, Mr. No-Tail finds himself a circle onto Slardar. Now Miracle's moving in with the help of Crit. They'll get the Wyvern as well. So they do end up finding 3 there off the back of a trade where they lost the Fly Snowman, and now the Snowman, Mr. Tusk turns back up, and hey, I'm a Huskar. Oh, is he? No, he's not good. Oh, that's some Dr. Lee.
There's the limit.
Gets himself on the way down. I mean, that's a Huskar for you. Double kill for the man. Does end up paying with his life.
Radiant's top tower.
All right.
Wait, No-Tail went drum.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. So
he does love his drum. He does down the Ember as well.
It is a good item on the hero. A very nice play here by Wyvern, by the way, denying that with the Arctic Burn. No-Tail's going to feel a little bit cheated there. But yeah, I like the drum build on Tiny quite a lot. I thought he was going to go for Blink and just keep the momentum up, but prioritizing the bit of farm. I still think Blink is next on the menu for him here. We're going to see. Maybe he decides to skip it entirely this game and just relies on the Tusk for initiation. They do have multiple ways of initiating from long range.
Yes,
it doesn't have to be him. So
that's true.
Miracle with the medallion as well, going into Crest. They could take Roshan very early with this. And it's a great item against Huskar. I think that's the main reason he's getting it, is that there's a Huskar in the game.
Yeah, if you pop that down on him and you've thrown acid spray on the ground, you're not on talking them through that anytime.
It's minus 17 armor.
Yeah.
And of course, the miss chance for Huskar is also super annoying to deal with. Speaking of which, they're going for a sneaky, a little cheeky one with the mates.
I do like this. Do they get away with this?
Okay, Moon. That's pretty random without having any vision in the area.
I'm on a back bam. No, they're just gonna get it as well. They're not gonna check out the pit fully.
He might be expecting that they're in there and just throwing it out, hoping that it's gonna scare them off.
Or maybe he's hoping to kill Roche with the Fisher.
Oh yeah, that would
have been the play. That would have been a proper Moon. But there we go. I mean, so unknown, they get themselves the Aegis on this Huskar, who's got the armlet and the lifesteal with the Helm of the Dominator. And he's been having a pretty good game so far, Huskar. Going to take a tier 1. Mid lane might be a bit of a kick-off, and there certainly is. No-Tail coming in. And get the pick off onto the Quap.
No-Tail is skipping the Blink. He went for Ogre Club.
Oh.
So he might be going for his own Axe now because Alchemist did not go for the Radiance build-up, so he doesn't farm nearly as fast as he would with it. Curious to see if that is the choice from No-Tail here. Then everything is going the direct opposite of what I was expecting for item builds for both players. But so far they're making it work okay. I'm still a bit concerned for OG in terms of their ability to play in this mid game if they give this Huskar too much space.
Huskar, yeah, standing tall, tanking it up here, looking for the push onto the tier 2. Look, this is what we expect from him. Just this kind of cocky confidence. He just sits there and hits the tower. I mean, he can do. He's a Huskar, I suppose, and he has got the backup of his team. He's trying to play the bait here. The question is, do OG fall for it? And moving again. No-Tail. All right. And go. This man
doesn't work anymore.
Look at this man.
Level 4 Berserker's Blood is enough.
This man is an absolute madman.
The glyph, and now finally he uses the inner vitality.
I love this. There we go. That's the tower gone.
Give it to a tune here. It's building toward.
Wow. I don't think the Huskar was giving it to him. It's probably like, you mother trucker. I wanted that.
Mother trucker, is that a thing?
It's like the polite way. Sin.
Okay.
I'm a polite man. Blink now on the Alchemist as well. So this is it's the fighting build for Miracle. You know,
Yeah.
the Blink.
So he's the
Blink
initiator
Solar
instead of the
Yeah.
Tiny then.
Yes.
That's pretty decent. The nice thing about this build that we didn't talk about is that how much single target physical damage it will do to the Huskar if he combines it well.
Oh yes.
Concoction also being physical damage together with the Acid Spray and putting that minus 17 armor makes it efficient. Like, I think a flat 600 physical before, well, depending on Huskar's armor, of course, but his entire combo hits really, really hard. And it could catch him off guard. Let's see here in mid if he tries for it. No, not going for it just now.
Radiant's
Here you go
top
for a
tower-
wraparound
Curious to see it.
onto Miracle and Moon.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And they got the charge available on Breaker. He did just use it on flight. Is it back in a second? Hasn't quite got the 6 there for the Nether Strike, but he has got the rest of his team backing him up. And Sonic Wave is back online. If I want to try and look for a fight here. And hey, look at this man. He just does it through the Acid Spray as well. Acid Spray. No, he's good. He's good. I mean, this is some proper manly Huskar performance from this guy.
Yeah, they're still not getting enough out of it right now, though. They just gave away a tier 1 tower bottom. OG are starting to get in position for mid as well. And I think the most important thing for me right now is where does Slaughter go? Like, he has to find more farm than this. It's 14 minutes in. He's still not that close to a Blink Dagger. There's still another 800 to go. And I think that item is absolutely key for them in order to find the engages that allow Huskar to run rampant. So these key items have to come out. At the same time, you just see OG farming so much. They have a 4,000 gold lead. It doesn't matter how cool your Huskar is.
Here as well. This is going to be good. I guess they do have the IO hanging around.
He sees it.
Relocate,
Good ward in the Dire jungle. Or Raid jungle, rather. And Crit's just going to TP out.
Yeah. I guess himself
Avoids that entirely, and they make their own smoke play. They got the information that these heroes are bottom, so this means Slaughter is alone top. He reads this very well. I do place a ward here.
They go in.
Did he just think he dodged them and then walk into them? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Greedy, living up to his name.
Alright, he died.
Huskar, I don't think you can be manly enough to walk into this. Huskar, he has still got that Aegis. There's a Winter's Curse. Now down onto Moon with a Sonic Wave as well. That'll be one. Now they're trying to look for more. That's Moon down. Miracle as well. Will he fall? He's getting low, and he does. Double kill here at the moment for the Quat. There's going to be a TP out from Fly. He will be able to get himself away. Very nicely done there once again by Unknown.
This is a great call because of the way the relocate is used. When OG are relocating in, I think this relocate was absolutely unnecessary, and that means that Unknown, they know that in a few seconds time at least the Wisp leaves, and probably also the Tiny, and then this manly play from Huskar all of a sudden isn't all that manly. He also even had the Aegis on backup if it went wrong, and he wouldn't mind using it because it's expiring in a minute. So good choice from them going for that play. They get 2 kills. But still not much going their way in terms of objectives. The Minotaur is getting kind of low, though.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that we've got what? The Orchid now has been picked up by Quat.
Is under attack.
So he's going to have that ready to jump in on some of these heroes. The Orchid going to be very nice against this lineup. And I guess on this Huskar Hill, he's looking for the Halberd ready with that Sanj. Next time, so something to try and do with the Tiny, but the Tiny is going to have that be. Ooh, he might have a kill as well. No tell, moving forward, get the toss onto Z-Top. They're going to follow through.
BKB first.
I mean, if it is going to be a Halberd, you know, on the Huskar,
yeah,
you know, it's not awful.
No, absolutely not. And like we talked about earlier, they can pull him in eggs. It's starting to come pretty late, and BKB is obviously an awful farming item. So this surprises me a bit. I can see the idea that he feels like he can't fight without it, just because there's so much magic damage and overall stun and control on the Radiant, but there's still a lot of it that goes through it. Still Greater Bash, there's still Nether Strike, there's regular Bash from Slaughter, Winter's Curse, Sonic Wave, plenty of tools to deal the damage, but he does of course block Life Break, which is very significant, and the Burning Spears.
Yeah, it certainly limits, what how Yama's going to be able to do against him on the bottom. Hang on, what's this guy doing? Alright, Z-Top. Okay, he's going to get away with it as well.
There goes the tower.
Yeah, see one down in the mid. Unknown. Looking for something, and now there's the blink on Yslada. So they're going to have that as well, Unknown. Breedy's there ready to go. And now with the TP, and they might look to try and fight into OG here. They're going to reroute, back themselves off over to their side of the map. Do they have a smoke here? Yes, they do.
This
So
is
with
a
the smoke.
very unusually late Blink Dagger for Moon. Usually when he plays this offlane Shaker, we see it come out at a pretty good time for him, but it's hard going into lane against Huskar Shaker. Let's be real. And only 300 to go. I was looking at OG's line, I'm like, well, if you want to engage with Unknown, you need to be ready for a really good counter engage, but until Moon has the blink, it's actually not that scary. There's going to be a fissure, of course, but...
Oh, Miracle, they're going to go straight on this. The Amplifier's on his edge, Orchid, so Noart's coming up the Sonic Wave, but the Eyesight... Sorry, not Eyesight, Eyesight blew me up. VG on the mine. Snowball's there to save him, buys him some time, but the damage still bringing them low. Unknown, they're falling themselves because No Tail's turned up. He's found one, now puts the BKB. The Echo Slam from Moon, taking down one, but it's a double kill for this Huskar. And look at this man just go to work. He takes down the Sigil. Can they find anything more here? Looking to move in. Greedy's going to blink in. Look at this aggression. Gets the crush onto No Tail.
Nice
jump
fissure.
across. Yes, he can. Leaps across the fissure. Looking for No Tail. Io's not going to be able to save. It's a triple kill for the Huskar. Mr. Hayama just going absolutely mental. Ultra kill for the boy. And my goodness, this man's showing no mercy. Greedy's Blink Dagger couldn't have been picked up at a greater time as it allowed them to set up that Huskar for multiple kills. And OG, they've got to be a little bit scared of how much work this Huskar's doing against them. Even with the BKB on Tiny, it just didn't save No Tail.
No, the BKB just expired. The BKB saved him for its entirety. He took pretty much no damage, but
he couldn't do enough in return.
Exactly. He couldn't really commit in. Of course, with his current build, it's great from a defensive perspective, but he doesn't output enough to threaten this Huskar. With Miracle dead or under so much pressure, they don't have that minus armor that they need to put on the Huskar for No Tail to deal the DPS that they need. So, a good fight for Unknown. I'm really curious to see which direction this Huskar takes his build. If he just goes straight into the Satanic now, or if he's considering Crest on the way. If he did want that, he could buy a full one just now.
Yeah,
pretty much the standard build-up. And there's no good MKB carries on the Dire. I actually think the double evasion build with Halberd and Crest is really good here.
Do they commit on I don't know if they commit on this one. Nah, yeah, Moonblink's back. It's a little bit too far for the charge to commit to. Huskars got an invis.
I think it's Playmill. Straight Kiras.
Alright. I mean, we already talked about...
different source of armor. That's
okay. If he's got the armor, I don't know how OG are dealing with him. You saw him in that fight, they just even though they've got the stuns, they just didn't seem to have the control to stop him from getting the armlet toggles off and just proving to be an absolute nuisance and a menace in these fights.
And of course, the dangerous thing is if they commit everything to him, and that's the one thing OG are having difficulties with, is that even if they land everything perfectly on the Huskar, they need to account for the Wyvern too, because else they will always be able to just buy time with Cold Embrace. If key abilities are used on Huskar and he doesn't die, they're in for a really bad fight. So it is kind of tricky here for them to find an opening onto Huskar, and I feel like Unknown are taking pretty good control of the map right now.
Yes, some really impressive stuff on the side. Roshan's going to be back up fairly shortly. He's there scouting it out. They can obviously take that fairly quickly with the Amplifier and the Huskar. OGR in the neighborhood. And, okay.
Echo Slam.
They look to just get the pick up onto Spirit Breaker, they certainly will. Everything and the kitchen sink being thrown at him. So they'll take the Spirit Breaker out for this fight. And it's a good time to do so with Roshan around the corner. They know they're going to be in a better position to defend it if it's a 5v4 engagement.
I think Unknown can fight this. They just need to buy time for Breaker to respawn, and they have a pretty good ward here that sees the movement of Miracle as well as Moon crossing away from the secret shop.
I do like this as well. The fact that we have got that Halberd being picked up quite early on Miracle, something to deal with this Huskar, which they do need.
Double evasion for him too. It's a good choice.
Radiant's top tower.
Because the Huskar, I mean, he's not going to have the BKB anytime soon.
No.
In terms of dealing with the disarm. So it is going to be an issue. Obviously, arguably, you could say that they can kind of fight around it, you know, just buy time for the disarm to wear off and then go back in. But
the crush!
Oh, he gets the crush off, but I don't know if it matters. He may just pay with his own life as well. Oh, Axel, you don't want to be coming close to this one, buddy. 2 down. And I think this man's in a lot of trouble. And there we go. There we have it. He's got the Cold Embrace, but he hasn't got any friends around. And, okay, OG. I mean, that's the thing. If Unknown make these kind of mistakes, OG, they're going to be the kind of they're just going to capitalize on it and take the easy kills. And now they're going to take Roshan as well. I mean, that was not ideal for Unknown, and that is exactly what OG were looking for to get their foot back up in this game.
I'm very surprised Unknown fell for that.
Yeah.
There's 5 heroes missing. They know Roshan is spawning. They have vision on the other lanes. All 5 are missing, and they still run in and try to get that rune with Queen of Pain, which is actually fine if the team is on backup, but he had 1 hero on backup, which was the Slardar. If the entire team is there, that's a different story. Then the Queen of Pain might have just baited them a fantastic winner's curse, but instead they lose 3 in a row for a haste rune.
I mean, look at this as well. I've got No Tail. He certainly strikes me as one to be innovative with his builds, and now he's picked up a Shadow Blade after the Drums BKB. I mean, this is not your standard Tiny build.
He's going Silver Edge against the Huskar, I think. Seems like a pretty solid choice. It allows him to solo kill the Huskar, which is kind of nice.
Well, let's see what happens at Miracle. He's going to be blinking himself away. I'm interested to see as well what Miracle goes next. You know, he went for the Solar Crest, he went for the Halberd. Now does he go back for these Aghanims for the Tiny? You talked about it potentially earlier, but he didn't go for it. Do you think there's a... Does he now think about it, or is he still thinking about himself and how he transitions into the later portions of the game?
I don't know, OG are a weird team when it comes to Tiny, because I've seen No Tail build every item in the game on that hero, and I've seen games where he goes super late game and doesn't have Ags, plays it entirely without it.
Okay, so they might just leave him without it.
It's possible that they don't think the item is that important or that good on the hero, and that other items give more value for 4200. In that case, he probably also doesn't want Miracle to buy it for him until super late, and in which case, of course, you get it, because it doesn't even take up an inventory slot.
It looks like it will be, though. He's got the point boost on the...
Okay.
Yeah, so here's the time.
Watch it be a Scotty.
Scotty?
Yeah, just watch.
I mean, maybe, if OG want to still step up the innovation. Or what if he farms an Ags and he gives it to the Tusk? Now that would be a turn up for the bookies.
If he gives it to the Wisp, that's a...
That would be... And we've got to get those stats in.
Yeah.
Got to get those stats.
Oh, it does help a bit.
But nonetheless, I mean...
Allows him to tether 2 heroes at once. Doesn't know D, don't worry.
Why did I check that? My god, I'm such an idiot. I was like, did I miss a patch? God, I hate Sin.
Just a brain cell.
Yeah,
or 500.
I was like, no it doesn't. But you said it so convincingly, Sin. See, I trust you when I have you as a co-caster.
You're a mistake.
I trust you. I'm like, he's not right, but I'm going to check. Alright, anyway, 17 to 12. They get the pick off onto the Slardar. Another kill for OG, so pretty much they found the 3 in the river earlier on, and now they just find themselves another one. So we're still yet to see Unknown find themselves a favourable fight back out again after these kind of favourable skirmishes for the side of OG.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
I see Halberd on the helm. Come to 900 gold on your Huskar. And it's going to be the Sand Show, as you said, definitely that Silver Edge. Very close to being complete here for No Tail. So something to help deal with the Huskar.
And it seems like OG have the game under control again.
Yeah.
Getting that fight and the Roshan just... Unknown kind of just ran out of steam for a bit, and they need to recover. They might want to wait until the Aegis expires and then try to make a play, but I think with every passing minute their lineup gets weaker compared to OG's, so something has to happen pretty soon. I don't know how big a fan I am of the Slardar getting 4-staff in this game. It's kind of the norm, and a lot of the times players do what I just call autopiloting item builds, which I think in general is a bad thing. Of course, there's a stable build that's good, but need to think about the game at hand. I think this is a BKB game.
This is time to look for some action here. Tiny moving forward, and he's going to go straight for the Wyvern. That's going to be one down. Now he's going to look for more, trying to chase down the Huskar. Huskar trying to... Oh, the Craggy! Oh, no, it hits onto Huskar, but he still finds this backup from the Quap, getting the silences out. Now the charge, the Sonic Wave, it's nice. The charge through, crosses the Miracle. Now Huskar jumping in onto No Tail, but the Concoction Stun's there. Greedy's there with the Crush. Is it going to be enough to keep the Huskar alive? Can he get out the Vitality in time? No, he can't. 2 down on the side of Unknown. They do end up losing Moon on the Shaker. There's the Snowball, though. They'll find themselves another one, so making it a 3-for-1 favouring OG, and No Tail's trying to move forward for more. There'll be the blink away from the Quap. Greedy hiding in the sidelines. He gets the blink off as well.
Oh, nice play by Attune here. Great juke. Very, very nice there. Hiding in the trees, and No Tail might actually still try for... Oh, he's going to find a stray courier here, maybe? Oh, still going for Attune.
Oh, No Tail. No mercy. And that's going to be the 4th one. So effectively, finding a very favourable trade once again for OG. And we're pretty much at a point where the last 5 minutes haven't shown us any kind of favourable fights for the side of Unknown. It's certainly getting harder, and here's the Aghanims coming out to Miracle. He'll almost certainly give that over to No Tail. And as you said, at this point, OG, they might have been a bit shaken up in the early portions of the game, but they've certainly come back into their element now. Level 16 on the Tiny with the Aghanims, and with a fairly hefty build as well. And suddenly, your Tinies, a good 5k net worth ahead of the Huskar, thanks to that Aghanims.
Fair. Oh, amplify damage and charge. Are they actually going to commit for this one? This seems like almost suicide.
Z-Top. Yeah.
And it is.
He's killed himself. That's one down. No Tail. And cut it up a bit. Greedy going in with a crush, but nice timing on the BKB. The Winter's Curse is there. Oh, look at this damage.
Oh my god.
Goodness, the Halber's there, but he still jumps forward. The toss is there. No Tail tries to turn around. They're looking for him here. Can they quite get him? He's low. He has a beacon limit caped up, trying to walk this one off. Miracle will stun himself and gets off the inner vitality, but Moon coming in. He tries to fight. Huskar's still trying to do it though, and he may just be able to turn this. The toss of the Avalanche is not enough. Yes, it is. They'll be able to bring down the Huskar. No Tail's still alive. Now look at this clean damage. Can't quite bring down Axel and a turn. Now Greedy with a crush. They found Io as well. And Unknown showing us that they're not out of this game at all. They're able to take down 3 from the side of OG. They do lose the Huskar as well as the suicidal space cow at the start of that one. But a very nice gold swing and XP swing for the team.
Moon.
Oh, Moon gets himself. Oh, but he's getting pinged for that one.
He also pinged himself.
He did. He was like, yep. But, okay.
So he didn't use the Sonic Wave in the fight. I don't know if he didn't have it, but it's surprising that that's left over after such a long team fight. Yeah, that didn't hit so well.
No. What level is he?
Hyperstone.
I don't know if it would have killed him anyway. If it hit, would it have killed me?
Okay, point close. He wouldn't have died.
No.
So it didn't matter.
No, it didn't matter. It just looked funny.
He sells his Hyperstone and goes point booster, so he's prioritizing the Ags for the low cooldown ults. Changed his mind because they already have an AC. That's the best reason I can come up with right now. And the alternatives, I think a Shiva's Guard in this game is actually really, really good. I would probably prefer that over Axe simply because you're playing against triple melee cores.
Look at this relocate. Moon sets it up onto Z-Tok and everybody's there. Everybody's there. They get themselves a kill. Roshan's going to be back up in a minute. And, well, Huskar farming up the Ancients. He's going to be looking for that BKB next. And she's going to be pretty key against this kind of lineup. There's now Greaves done here on the Tusk. And Fly's going to have that ready for the next fight. I think Roshan could be where it all kicks off. The question is, do Unknown have what it takes to contest OG's attempt onto the Roshan?
I think the BKB on Huskar is absolutely crucial right now. But he's too far away for the Roche fight. That means OG will get an Aegis. And at that point, they might be able to high ground even into a BKB Huskar. Or they just do right.
Huskar straight, and here we go. The full 5-man with Huskar. There's a Glimmer Cape. Sentry's been popped down though. They've the vision here, and they're moving on to Huskar. Is the regen enough? No, he can't live through that amount of damage. He's down for 70 seconds. Now Miracle moving forward. They're trying to get Axel as well. There's the toss from No Tail. They'll move in on to the Winter Wyvern. He's got the Cold Embrace to buy him some time, but with the 5 heroes there of OG, they'll get themselves a double kill for Miracle. They'll put on the pressure in the mid potentially, or they'll just back straight up to Roshan off the back of that one. But again, another very successful smoke there from the team, and it looks like Roche is going to be potentially on the menu, but it's still not quite up yet. Just TP up top. Maybe try and deal with Greed. Okay, Moon with the swag, straight in. Gets himself a cheeky solo kill. Nicely done there by the man. And once again, Unknown, not the plays that they were looking for.
No, they're just they're really getting outmaneuvered on the map right now. It's OG making the better plays in terms of aggression, and they're also the ones making plays in general.
He's not done. Straight in on this. Quap's got no chance.
It seems like in the last 10 minutes, Unknown have stopped trying to find pickoffs themselves and tried to aggressively smoke. I don't know if they ran out of smokes. It looks like they actually did. And, well, they do have one on Wyvern still. So I'm surprised that they're letting OG take control of everything. At this point, they have to try to do something. If they feel like they're winning this late game, I just disagree with their view on the game. So it just looks like OG are getting bigger and not paying anything for it either.
No, No, they're certainly not at this point. But I think we saw them lose pretty much one slight loss in a team fight recently, but other than that, each and every time they've been coming out on top. And I imagine, what's the net worth looking like? What kind of difference are we seeing at the moment? Yeah, it's really starting to tail off for OG now. 12k or so lead, and over 15 now in terms of XP. And with that tower as well, it's going to be even more. A lot of money being picked up here by Notel.
Have you seen the 4-staff from Slara used yet? Okay, used on a creep now. Good.
Did he?
Yeah.
Literally as you said it.
He actually did. So the thing is, as I was saying, I don't know if this is a 4-staff kind of game. It is great against both Fissure and Ice Shards, but the problem is he can't go in. So the moment he blink crushes, he has to immediately disengage, and he has to be really quick at it because all of the counterplays from OG are almost instant stuns. Then he just dies in the middle of the fight. Whereas if you had the BKB instead of this 4-staff, he can actually start committing to get bashes onto the Tiny, for example.
Can they get to Roshan? I don't know if they can.
No.
No. I mean, do they still try and fight off the back of this? I don't know if they do. There's your Roshan. Out does now have an AC. There's the Aegis on to Notel. So yeah, no, unknown, so no, we don't want to deal with that at the moment.
Were you about to call it No-Tail Toenail?
I was going to call him like No Tony or something.
Alright, double ACs for the Doctor, picked up at the exact same time.
Okay, I mean, why not, Sin?
Yeah, I guess a little bit of miscommunication. You don't want this in most cases. Of course, it's great to have all that armor, and the attack speed is great for both heroes, but probably better to get one of them a Shivas, and that should have been Miracle.
And there we go, moving forward, tier 2. OG should be able to take this. They'll feel very confident, maybe even trying to go for some high ground action. But I've got to be honest, at least the games that I've seen of OG, they're very disciplined in terms of when they want to take it to the high ground. Even if they feel they're at a good point at this stage of the game, if they know that they're going to have the late game, I wouldn't be surprised if we do see them play it safe, just continue to get more items up on their cores, and only go for the high ground push when they feel super confident and super ahead, because they don't want to throw this one away.
Absolutely not. And they have so many, I feel like they have so many ways of winning the game. One thing is 5-manning. They can also try to go for some split push strategy with IO Tiny later if things don't go too well. Well, looks like they might just be trying the high ground. Of course, they do have the crest to help No-Tail against this amplified damage. They do not have their first Lotus Orb just yet. I do believe that's what Fly is building here. I mean, they just have so much armor. They have Vlad's AC, 2 ACs. And even Guardian Greaves, should they drop low?
And
it's time.
How do we stop this, Unknown say to themselves? Miracle gets the stun off onto Huskar. There's your fortification gone. And here we go. Tier 3 to fall almost in the middle. Okay, there's the Halberd there buying some time. Slowing down the push a little bit, but No-Tail walks it off. Heads back in, takes the tower. Now turns attention towards the racks. Unknown, you're going to need to do something here. There's going to be the charge coming out. They're going to try and fight. Charge across on the move, but the Yules are there to cancel it. Huskar's trying to fight against No-Tail, but the BKB's been popped, and he's just man-fighting against him. There is the ultimate there from the Wyvern onto Miracle holding position. The Sonic Wave's up, but the Snowball picks him up. The Slam comes out here from Moon. That's one down, that's 2 as well, and they'll try and look for more. Quat will be able to blink away. They're trying to chase down the Wyvern here, but he has got the Glimmer Cape. There'll be a buyback here on the Slardar. There's your concoction up onto Huskar. No-Tail moves it as well. Connor braces there to save him for the time being. So Huskar will be fine. Maybe can they do anything still to stop this? Greedy and Craggy! Oh no, and he's now down. It's a dieback on the Slardar. Racks in the mid lane are taken by OG. And that, yeah, these Craggy procs, not what Greedy was looking for when he blinked in there.
This is more than likely the end of the game. They didn't even take away the Aegis with that team fight, so...
Radiant's bottom barracks.
And there we go. BKB from Huskar. He wants to try and fight. He jumps forward onto Miracle. He might find this though. The charge as well coming across. There's a buyback on the Wyvern. Nether strike onto Miracle controlling him. But they can't quite kill him. They can't take him down through the regen. He will finally go down there. Now No-Tail. He's just there with the cleanup. Double kill here for the Tiny. Moves in for more. GG's called. OG will take the first game. Give us a pretty nice early game. A fairly good mid game. But a pretty bad late game. at least in this 36 minutes against OG, where OG just found the momentum and Unknown just fell behind. And as you were saying, they just couldn't find any chance to go out and look for any pickoffs themselves because OG were all over them.
Yeah, going for that bottom rune for Queen of Pain ended up being the biggest mistake of the game.
Okay.
That ended up getting 3 kills for OG and a Roshan, where if he hadn't gone for that and just been a little patient with his team arriving, they could have maybe taken a team fight and it could have been a different story. But when you give this lineup that OG has in this kind of game, compared to what you have yourself, if you give them a little bit of a lead, they can just snowball out of control with that one Aegis, and they more or less did. So solid performance from OG. Looked a little bit shaky in the start, but I think they picked it up very nicely.
Yeah, just only notable performances from Notel, of course. 18, 2 for 10. That man had a great time on the Tiny, but it would have been done with the help of his team, and of course the help of the Alchemist getting in that Axe miracle there, getting Notel's back. But indeed, a very good game one for the side of OG, and we'll see if they can continue it into game 2 of the series, which will be right around the corner. So don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back for game 2 between OG and Unknown.